we're at the friendly confines of the Eagle Tribune. We're not at Gillette Stadium. You'll be seeing us at Gillette Stadium at halftime possibly, and definitely after post-game of the AFC Championship, what comes up this Sunday. New England Patriots host the Baltimore Ravens. It's funny because over the years we've talked about the Patriots having a great rivalry, and it was a great rivalry, with the Indianapolis Colts and Peyton Manning. That's finished. Then sort of the Pittsburgh Steelers took over for a run there. We're involved a little intertwined there during the Colts-Patriots era, but that's sort of disappeared a couple of years ago. Now it's the Ravens and it's the Patriots. And really, if you talk about the AFC, this has been probably the best game, probably the most watched, most anticipated game. Other than, I know if the Patriots had gone to Denver, I think that would have been more of a Brady thing. But as far as teams go, it's the Patriots and the Ravens. Generally speaking, what are your thoughts? We're doing this again. They've played 5 times here since 2009. And every game, other than the playoff game, have been literal wars.
Yeah, except for that Ray Rice game where he just came out and dictated to the Patriots. It's been a right down to the end, a kick here, missed kick, drop in the end zone. It's been crazy football. I think what we have to look at here is which Tom Brady's going to show up. He hasn't put 2 games together. I'd like to know what Tom Brady's going to show up Sunday.
All right, they played early this year. The Colts won 31-30. I don't know if they outplayed the Patriots. Maybe they did in the end, but the Patriots looked like probably should have put that game away.
No, look, Bill, we've heard it all week. The Patriots fans, I'd love to know where they come from. The game was stolen. They talk like they were the Green Bay Packers having a game stolen from them by replacement officials, and the kick was wide and this and that. That was a dogfight, like all the games have been. It could have gone either way. They were up 13 early. They gave it back, and the Ravens, to their credit, came back to get them on their home field. The place was rocking. It was crazy. It was a wild night in Baltimore, and you got to give the Ravens credit for that. I've just been stymied by Patriots.
Well, what about the Ravens saying they got the game stolen from them a year ago? Of course, everyone says that the ball was dropped. It wasn't dropped. A Patriot, Sterling Moore, knocked it out of his hands. Right. I will give them that. They can take that game if they give them back the David Tyree catch. And if they want to make that trade, I understand. The point is, though, this is a war. It's hard. I'm wondering, we're going to go through some matchups. I'm wondering if it's a waste of time and if it's really going to be a 34-31, 27-24, 27-26 game.
Is it going to be a 15-minute game, I think, is the question. I think everybody believes it's going to be a 15-minute fourth quarter game, kind of like Denver and Baltimore was last week. I think that plays to the Ravens' strengths to get the Patriots into a dogfight into the fourth quarter, despite the fact that it's been 3-1 in those games recently. I don't see the Ravens running up and down the field on this team or dictating to the Patriots early. I think their only chance is to hang around and score the late knockout.
All right, let's look at this from the Patriots angle first. We'll do this in 2 parts, Patriots, and then we'll look at it from the Ravens side. Patriots, Tom Brady, you mentioned 2 games in a row. I'm going to mention, I'm wondering if this defense is good enough. I mean, the Ravens' defenses in the last 5 years, very good, bordering on great a couple of times. This defense is ranked 17th, and for the Ravens, that's not good. And some not great teams have moved up and down the field on them.
I'm not a huge fan of the Baltimore defense whatsoever. I agree with you 100%. I think the Patriots should be able to move the football. They do have the savvy. Will they play Patriots? Will they play the Patriots way and make plays, as the New England Patriots defense has done over the last 8 games? I don't think the Patriots defense is as good as everyone thinks it is. They've made plays, but I don't think Baltimore's defense is as bad as everyone thinks they are. I think Baltimore kind of in the middle, and the defense that makes the plays, like I say, in the fourth quarter will dictate.
All right, Patriots running game is, I'm not going to call it a force, but it is something to be reckoned with. And if you don't respect their run game, you know what? Brady doesn't have to have a great game to beat them. The Patriots' run game, it looks like Ridley has recovered from the fumbles, and it looks like the running game is back to being, and I'm not going to call it great, but it's a substantial part of the offense.
It's not Corey Dillon running for 1,600 in the season and then 300 more in the postseason, but it's explosive. They are big play kind of guys. Vereen has showed he's a big play kind of guy. And Ridley gets you that 12-yard, elusive 12-yard gain that Lawrence Maroney couldn't and Ben Jarvis Green Ellis couldn't. it's just a burst through the line. He's at the next level. It's something we haven't seen here in a long time. You're never going to have, with Tom Brady quarterbacking, you're not going to have the Corey Dillon thing again. They're not going to give the ball to them 35 times and run tackle to tackle. But man, they really moved the chains early by getting you 8 on first down or the swing pass on 2nd and 7 for 12. It's explosive.
The one concern I have, if I'm on the Patriots side, is Gronkowski. Rob Gronkowski not being there. Mm-hmm. He changes everything. I'm not saying they won every single game the guy has played, but he's really a really tough match. And they really don't have a guy that goes straight down the center of a defense, run that seam route, which is when, just for you students out there, it's when an end will run straight down the field, almost towards the post, and where the safeties
Trying
go.
to split the safeties.
Split the safeties and where the safeties go outside for the wide receivers. So I have a concern because I think with him there, I think this is a 40-point-a-game lineup every week, and I would have said maybe even this week, and it's not.
Well, I think the best stat I heard this week was with Gronkowski on the field, Tom Brady threw 23 TDs and 3 interceptions. Without Gronkowski on the field, it was 11 and 6. It's a very telling number.